The Alchemy of Relationships, Sun through Pluto. Each planet in our birth chart tells a story. It is a living archetype within our psyche. Together they form the inner cosmos of the self, as we are on the soul's journey of learning to love each other. Love is not merely attraction. It is the harmony created when our different energies learn to resonate with one another. Like music, relationship asks us to listen, adjust, and move with the deeper rhythms of the soul, becoming more conscious through the experience of love itself. The sun begins that journey. It is the spark of identity, the radiant I am. It teaches us that love starts with self-respect, with the courage to stand in our own light. Only when we honor our own center can relationship become an authentic meeting rather than a search for completion. Then the moon reminds us that love must also feel safe, that emotional intimacy is born not from perfection, but from the willingness to be seen in our vulnerability. The moon teaches us that true closeness emerges when we create space for tenderness, trust, and emotional truth. Only when we feel safe enough to reveal our inner world can love deepen beyond attraction into genuine connection. With Mercury, we learn that dialogue is sacred. Words become bridges between souls, not weapons or defenses. Mercury teaches that conscious love depends on communication, rooted in honesty, curiosity, and understanding. When we listen to each other as deeply as we speak, our relationships become a living exchange where truth creates connection. And Venus opens the heart, teaching us to see beauty not only in the beloved but in ourselves, to make love an art rather than an addiction. And Venus teaches that love deepens through self-worth, and from that foundation, reciprocity and harmony can consciously grow. When we no longer seek value solely through another, love becomes an act of creation, not dependency. Mars follows, igniting passion and direction. Mars asks, can we be truthful about what we want without wounding? Can we let conflict become cleansing rather than destructive? Face to face, can we let there be space for our autonomy while still choosing to come together in love? Then Jupiter lifts our eyes to meaning, to a love that expands rather than confines. It reminds us that relationship is a classroom for the soul, where wisdom, gratitude, and shared meaning can deepen over time. But the real work begins with Saturn, the keeper of integrity. Saturn tests our promises, teaching us patience, boundaries, and the quiet strength of commitment. It is through maturity, responsibility, and enduring through hardship, in time becomes lasting love. Then Chiron reveals the sacred wound, the places within us where love has hurt, shaped, and humbled us. Chiron teaches that relationship can become a path of healing for both people when vulnerability is met with awareness and compassion replaces defenses. Our deepest wounds can become sources of wisdom, intimacy, and shared transformation. When old structures crack, Uranus arrives, the awakener, breaking open anything false so that truth can breathe. Uranus demands freedom within connection, the courage to evolve, individuate, and awaken without abandoning the bond, for otherwise freedom becomes mere rebellion rather than consciousness. It teaches us that love can evolve beyond old roles and expectations into authenticity, friendship, and conscious partnership. Neptune follows, dissolving what separates us. It teaches compassion, imagination, and the beauty of surrender. Yet Neptune warns that love cannot survive illusion. Shared spirituality begins when the dream of love is tempered by the reality of seeing one another clearly, allowing devotion to become a path of conscious love. And finally, Pluto leads us into the underworld, where we confront the shadow hidden beneath passionate desire and the fear filled power dynamics that emerge when we become vulnerable to loss. Through death and rebirth, Pluto teaches us by confronting shadow and reclaiming projection, we can bring to awareness both the dark and the light, and by surrendering what is false, we discover the deeper power of conscious union. From the sun's radiance to Pluto's depths, each planet is an alchemist, turning experience into consciousness. Together they reveal that love is not found by escaping our humanity, but by embracing it fully. Light and shadow, passion and pain, freedom and commitment. And in the end, every relationship invites us to meet each other halfway, to consciously seek balance, mutuality, and shared growth. We begin to recognize the hidden gold, both within and beyond us, an infinite exchange between inner and outer reality. Like the infinity symbol, inner and outer were never separate, only waiting for consciousness to unite them. And no one becomes whole in isolation. Relationship calls us into the sacred work of reflection, where the other reveals what we cannot fully see alone. The alchemy of relationship is not the erasure of difference, but the conscious holding of opposites. This is the sacred work of conscious love in the Age of Aquarius, where relationship becomes a path beyond projection. Masculine and feminine, autonomy and union, light and shadow, each polarity becomes part of the greater whole. When we learn to honor both, relationship becomes the vessel through which the soul discovers its own sacred balance. And I love this poem. Do not walk in front of me, I may not follow. Do not walk behind me, I may not lead. Walk beside me and be my friend.